So glad you are with us on the Allon Exchange. Brad Johansson back with Jay and Brittany Hagee, Allon Planning Partners. Guys, how are we?
We are doing wonderful,
Hello,
Brad. How are you
Good,
doing?
good. You look beautiful today.
Thank you.
As always. Jay, you're all
Brad.
right.
Well, you know, I don't expect much, Brad.
I'm changing the focus. Look, for a lot of you, many of you think, you know what, it's the guys that are running the financial show, and you've really got it wrong. And guys, I don't want to move you away. If you got a sister, you got a daughter, if you got a mom, I guess that's all of you. You need to pay attention to this. We're gonna focus a little bit on women in finances. And one of the things that I want to start with is that for most couples, the money's going to end up in the women's hands for a lot longer, because guys, let's face it, we're a little bit more stupid, and we die earlier than the women do. As a matter of fact, in America, the average age of the widow is at 59 years old.
Yeah.
The women are going to rule the world if they're not ruling the world already. I want to talk a little bit about women in finance. Brittany, why is this so significant? Why do we have to touch on this? Since so much of this depends on what the women do in the household, what the women do after the kids have grown. The nurturing fact is just the beginning part of this.
Yeah, and we as women just face a different financial reality than our male counterparts, not because we're less capable, but because the deck is just stacked differently with us. We've got biology, we've got the system overall, what it looks like in the wage gap, the wage disparity that's improving, but still isn't quite fully equal. And then life's responsibilities. Again, the deck is just stacked differently against us. So we have to do more with less, so to speak. So whether you are a go on your own type of woman, or you are married and you're in a relationship where maybe the spouse handles all of that, man, this is one of those times where I want you to turn your tuner on, listen in today, because lean into this conversation. This is for any and all women. And like Brad mentioned, man, if you're out there and you are a husband, you are a father, this is all the more important for you to hear, because we're going to speak to you directly too. We've got some things we want to give to you today as well. But I kind of want to begin with the truth of the matter, which is we just, as women, usually make less money over time. Yeah. So our income is less, and then you also have to deal with the reality of we're stepping out of the workforce for childbearing, child rearing, all of those types of responsibilities, which is a gift. It's a wonderful thing, but there are financial implications that we have to prepare for to make all of that even a possibility. So less time working. Think about how that impacts retirement. If you're working less, you're contributing to your retirement accounts less, you're saving less because you have less to work with. All of those things, that's just the beginning of the conversation around all of this.
Yeah, and it's okay that one or the other spouses want to be the person who controls the purse, the money, the books, right? It's okay. And if that's the men in the relationship, or if that's the women in the relationship, we have clients we serve where the women control and make sure they're helping make those financial decisions, and some where the men make those financial decisions. All I want to say to the men today is financial confidence is a gift you can give the woman in your life, right? And so for Brittany, I want her to be confident and strong in understanding how I'm managing the money, how that I'm, paying the bills, how if something were to happen to me, that she is going to be okay. So it's not making me weaker because she understands where we are financially. It actually makes us stronger together, because I want to give her as a gift the confidence to be able to walk in this life if something were to happen with me. So it really is a gift you can give the women in your life, is by, if I am the one that is controlling the finances, that I at least make my spouse aware of what's going on.
Yeah, that absolutely is a gift, because a lot of women, I think, feel like they're behind. They're behind because of the savings that we already talked about. Maybe they're behind because they don't feel like they know as much, or whatever the case may be. I mean, again, like Jay said, we serve serve individuals in both capacities, where the woman manages the entire household finances. It's not, a lot of times it's split, right? So that's how it is with Jay and I. We have very different responsibilities, but we're both hands on in all of this. So it's the point of being involved. And again, most women feel behind. So many feel behind. And a lot of times it's not their fault. If the spouse would come alongside and say, hey, I want to support you in this. I want to help you navigate this. I want to, open up all of this so we can walk through this together. And secondly, a lot of times it's not their fault because women are time starved. I mean, think about the responsibilities that women carry, with careers, with children, with child rearing, with caring for aging parents or family members, the responsibilities around all of that, schedules. And we have 2 young children. And so we know very well the demand of, kids running different sports things and, different activities they have to get to. And so all of those things, are on our plates as a couple. And most of the time I'm the one stepping away if I need to take care of those things. Absolutely, that's wonderful, and it's what I choose to do. But there, again, is a financial implication that we have to plan for to ensure that I am not set back. We together are not set back in the future, but we're preparing for that and planning for that. So the wake-up call here is that 95% of women will, at some point in their lifetime, be their family's primary financial decision maker.
95%.
95%. And it goes to the fact of where you started the conversation earlier, because we are living longer.
It's longevity. Yeah, period.
We are living longer. And so our spouses are leaving that to us, or we're single because by choice or widowed, whatever it might be. But that is a unimaginable number. So we have to be best prepared for those moments.
Yeah, and so you better be prepared, right?
Yeah.
Because statistics say that women control basically about $10 trillion today in our economy. And by 2030, which is not that far away,
Right.
it's scheduled to be somewhere around 30 trillion. So it's going to triple in the next few years, because at some point, like Brittany said, 95% of you ladies listening out there will have to make all these decisions. So it may feel overwhelming to you right now. You may have a spouse that helps plan and helps bring in all the resources that you need, and that's wonderful. But you should at least be prepared and understand the implications if your spouse is no longer around, how that's going to impact you and how you're going to be taken care of. Because at some point, statistics say you're going to be the one making those decisions. So be informed.
The numbers are staggering. Average 401k, you talked about the disparity in what women are able to earn and then therefore save. Men are averaging in their 401k $89,000, where women are $40,000 less at $59,000.
Yeah, that's a huge gap. That's a huge, huge difference there. And so this is where I want to really highlight the importance of couples planning together. Okay, it's not even always, it's ensuring that the assets and the way you're planning for income in retirement, the way you're planning distributions from your accounts, the way that you're saving, that all of these are going to actually set you up for the best positioning in that final stage of life. So that's really the goal here. And when we're working with couples, we're looking at how to ensure that both parties are informed. Because again, this does go both ways, right? So for the women who manage the household finances, the men need to be informed. If they're not the one making the choices or selecting the investment allocations, it goes both ways. So ensuring that you're at minimum informed so that when that time comes, because of longevity, right, Brad, where we are the ones standing at the end here, that we have some confidence walking into that season, into that stage of life, and not scrambling around saying, how do I pay the tax bill on our house, our property tax? How do I pay the mortgage? But we help folks navigate through this in a way to build practical steps. Here's a quick checklist. Do you have all of these things written down? Do you have all these things in one central location where the other can take it and really run with it? Not even in the case of death, but maybe there's just some kind of setback or unexpected situation that causes the spouse to not be able to do those responsibilities. Maybe there's an illness or something. How do you take the ball and run with it? Keep the household rolling. It's really just about working together as a team, as a unit, to be able to build that moving forward.
How much preparation have you done? How staggering are the numbers? We're trying to speak the truth. The idea is that you have an understanding and you may not know exactly where things are going. And there may be a rift even in how you both are preparing. We've talked about this on previous shows that opposites attract. And so coming together to have an understanding because your goal is the same. I want the best retirement I can possibly have. We want the best retirement for you as well. Call the number on your screen, scan the QR code so that you can put together a complimentary financial plan looking forward. Longevity risk. How long are you going to live and how long are you going to be together? And do you know the end time? Shoot, if you can all tell us when you're going to die, the retirement plan's easy. We don't know what's ahead. Let's put it together for you. Call the number now. You've been waiting for a long time. You want to answer some of the questions that you've had for a long time. Let Jay and Brittany and their team put it together for you at Allon Planning Partners. Let's do it now. We'll be right back with more.
Well, about almost 10 years ago now, Brittany and I came to the realization that the position that we were in, we wanted to expand what we were doing. We were in full-time ministry. And so I realized as I was counseling people a lot, it had a lot to do with finance.
Because finances are a touchy subject. It can be challenging, and that's what we want to do, help people prepare for those unexpecteds.
I had a friend at the time who was in the industry and ran an RIA and decided to, take a sneak peek into what he was doing, and really, loved the model of being able to be independent and fiduciary in our advice and the way that we help people.
And when we decided to begin our own independent firm, we knew there's a better way. There's just a better way to do this. It's beyond transactional interaction. It's this relational component that we knew we want to have. And I believe that each individual and family has to find the right fit for them.
And I think most people that walk in here are looking for that unique touch, like independently, how can we help your family succeed?
So glad you are with us on the Allon Exchange. Brad Johansson with Jay and Brittany Hagee, and we're talking women in finance now because I said a lot of the numbers are staggering. I could continue to go, and I'm going to for a moment. Guys, that 50% of women have no retirement savings at all by the latest statistics, and 17% of women feel on track for trying to get to retirement. I don't want scare tactics to be a part of it. We never do that with scare tactics, but there are things that you have to watch out for. Let's talk practicality.
Yeah.
How do we move forward from the numbers that are real?
Well, those are some staggering numbers. Number one, that only 17% of most women say that they feel confident in their retirement plan. What we do at Allon Planning is we want to set up a confident plan for everyone that walks in the door, right? And so we want to keep it easy, so to speak. We don't want to speak over anyone's head, but we want to inform you on what your options are. So we go over every component of a financial plan. We start off with investment management. We hit 5 components of financial planning. A good place for those of you out there listening, and maybe you're in that number and you're saying, I'm not confident as a woman or a man about my financial situation. We've created a quiz for you at allonquiz.com. And there's a QR code you can click right there. If you point your phone to it, you can go ahead and take that easy quiz. It'll take you about 5 minutes. And it really shows you the 5 components of financial planning and how prepared are you to enter retirement. And it's maybe more than a feeling. Maybe you're more prepared than you think you are, because it could be just a feeling of unpreparedness when you actually have things in line. Or you could feel overconfident and not have everything together. So start at allonquiz.com. But if you come in to meet with us, we're going to start walking you through a process. That process says, how are you saving right now? It's going to look at your investment allocation strategy and say, are you aligned with the goals that you have? We start with purpose-based planning. And why are you trying to get to the next stage? Maybe you're in retirement already and you're like, I'm afraid I'm going to run out of money. Am I spending too much? we want to look at the allocation strategies. Then we want to move into income planning to see how are you spending right now and how can we ensure that you do not run out of money over time. There are many ways that we can do that, but we try to keep it simple for you so that you really truly have a peace of mind. I'm not going to run out of money for the rest of my life. And then we look at tax planning, because you have to add that in as the third component, because you could be doing great with investment management. You could have a great income plan, but you're paying Uncle Sam and he's stealing out of your back pocket every day, and you have to stop that. You have to get Uncle Sam out of your back pocket. So we put together a tax plan to make sure that you get to keep more of your hard-earned money. Then you have to look at healthcare planning and estate planning. Now listen, if I started talking about all 5 of these, it starts to sound daunting. It's like, man, I'll never be able to cover all of these things. Well, that's why we're here as a resource for you. We're gonna walk you through one step at a time. You don't have to worry about, man, I don't know even what to ask. There's a lot that we don't know, and that's okay. But we want to take you through a 5-step process that is practical, that is not going to leave you gazed over and glazed over eyes, and not understanding what numbers you're looking at and keep you confused. We want to bring clarity to your situation, because clarity and confidence is what good planning does. And so you don't have to stay in that category of being in that 90% of women. It was like 83% of women that would say, I'm not ready for retirement, or I'm not sure or confident in my retirement planning. So we want to help bring clarity and confidence to you and your plan.
Well, and here's a real life example of what that actually has looked like. We had a client just within the last about 6 or 8 weeks ago pass away. We had been worked with this couple, Jay and I, together for a number of years. We received the news. They let us know there was an unexpected medical emergency and the spouse had passed away, husband had passed away. Well, of course, we scheduled a time, sent condolences and cared for them through that, cared for her through that, but invited her in, let's sit down, let's process this together. And the good news in the scenario was that they had done the planning, so that when that moment happened, she wasn't scrambling, trying to figure out how to pay the mortgage or how to take the distributions from investments to pay the bills that were coming due next week. But those things were already in order. She had done the work and the planning. They had coordinated together. We had planned with them together, so that when that time came, if that happened that way, she was confident. She knew how to move forward, and she sat across that table with us that day, tears streaming down her face with gratitude, saying, I am a grieving widow, but I am grateful that I am not fearful in my financial situation because of it. And that was one of the most fulfilling moments for us, right? To be able to acknowledge that is what was able to come out of all of this planning. So it's not for naught. It's for something, and the value that it brings is tangible and it's real. And she experienced it that day.
I want to touch on what you said, because you began the story by saying Jay and I sat with them together. You've said this in previous shows, that we'll have couples come in who say, can I meet with both of you?
Yes.
And this has become part of a tenet for the two of you to say, we have spouses who feel the need. Can we have you as spouses do this with us together? There is something, as you said, when she says that, because the two of you did this together, with the two of them together, there is a fulfillment with this that says, can we ease the stress of this in the beginning? Because the stress we know is going to come later. We just don't know when it's going to come or how it's going to come. This has become part of what you do at Allon.
Absolutely, because that is really important right there, because all of us are going to go through emotional times. And when you lose a spouse, I don't think there's anything more emotional that you can walk through besides a loss of a child, someone that's that close, that would put you in an emotional state. You do not need to be making those kind of hard financial decisions in an emotional time like that. And so I would encourage everyone, and if you're a couple right now and maybe you're the man or the woman who in the relationship and you control the finances and your spouse does not, bring them in with you and let's have a conversation as couples, because we at least want every party to be informed, confident, so that no matter what happens, they can hold their head up. And it was such a gift to this widow to be able to not have to think about the financial complexities as her spouse had passed away. It was such a gift for us to walk her through this season and say, you did the hard emotional planning before this happened, and now you don't have to make these hard emotional decisions in this time of chaos. And so that's what we want to set up for everyone. And if you're listening there, call the number, scan the QR code, schedule a time on our calendar to where we can sit with you and bring that peace of mind so you don't have to make those hard decisions in even harder times.
We talk about this all the time. It's perspective. The people that have been through this, who have seen this, who understand this. Don't you want a little perspective? And maybe you've been with an advisor for a long time and said, never talk to me about any of these things, which is why for a lot of you, you continue to watch the show. It's become appointment TV for you, and with good reason. We thank you for watching. But now we'd like to help. So you have to help yourself. Call the number on your screen. Scan the QR code. Let's put together a complimentary financial plan for you. As Jay said, let's do the hard stuff now so later things can be easier. Do it for yourself. We'll be right back. Just a minute with Allon Planning Partners, Brad Johansson, Brittany Hagee. How do we build an income plan in retirement?
You know, Brad, you may actually think it's pretty simple. I'll just draw from an account when I need it, or take X amount of dollars from my 401k each year. But here's the problem. You don't want all of your income in retirement to be taxable. You want to be drawing from taxable accounts, but then also have some tax-free buckets that you can pull from as well. What you don't want in retirement is all of your income to be taxable. So no matter where it's coming from, rental properties, 401ks or IRAs, pensions, you want to ensure that those components work together to make the income last for you.
Build an income that works. Just a minute with Allon could change everything. So glad you're with us on the Allon Exchange. Brad Johansson with Jane Brittany Hagee as we're talking women in finance, and we're talking about how difficult it may be. Let's get practical. We did this in the last segment. We talked about, and we'll do this for you again, the allonquiz.com. Let's leave that up because this sometimes will help prepare you. As we put it up on the screen, you get to scan the QR code. allonquiz.com is where you need to go to try and find out whether you're prepped. Give me some practical to lead into this.
Well, and that is I got to talk about that quiz just for a moment, because that is an excellent way to begin this whole process. So if you are a woman trying to determine, where am I at in all of this? Where do I currently stand, and how prepared am I for my financial future? This is an excellent way to begin, just to assess where you are. Because you can't really determine how to move forward until you first assess what's my starting line? Where am I actually beginning? That's what this quiz actually does for you. It gives you your starting line. And then from there, you can build, forward motion, forward movement to determine how do I actually build something? How do I actually get to where I want to be? Again, that's where we come into play to help you navigate that and actually build that roadway. Yeah. But I want to talk about how there's a difference between just knowing about something or knowing there's an issue and then actually putting some action behind it and doing something. 70% of widowed or divorced women are worried about inflation. That's a high concern that we carry. But there's a very big difference between having concern or worry about something and actually taking action to do something about that. Two very different things. This is the time, this whole episode today has been all about taking action and being ready to take those steps to actually engage the process. I know there's only so much time in the day. What we do does not take a whole lot of time. Coming in and sitting down, having a conversation, spending an hour and a half with us and beginning all of this, beginning the conversation to help take that load off of you. But you've got to take that initial step. It can't just be knowledge and knowing about it. You've got to take the step forward.
Because knowledge can be empowering. It can feel empowering. It can be emotional. It can be like, man, I know where I want to start now.
Good,
it feels
right?
good. But without action, it doesn't bring true confidence. Really, when we sit down and create a plan and we have action steps to get you to the next strategy, you are going to feel more confident, but you're going to actually be confident.
Yeah,
You're
right.
going to walk it out, right? When you have action steps and we create a roadmap, you have a way to get to the next step. It's not just, I think I know how to get to the next step, right? And when you take Allon quiz, that's the start. It's going to empower you to know some things. But then connect with us. Come in and sit down with us and let's put a roadmap together so that action can be put behind that knowledge so that you actually have power to move forward. And that's freedom. You become free when you know that you have the power to actually move forward and you're taking the steps to do it.
The interesting thing is a lot of people will take this quiz and score, ooh, I scored way too low, which then puts that feeling that we've talked about before, the shame, I haven't done enough, I'm not in the right place, it's going to be too late, I probably shouldn't do this. You've seen a lot of these before to say, I understand where you are. Let's put the 5 pieces in place and the domino effect can last and work for you.
That's it. There's no failing grade on this quiz. You're not failing it's not a pass or fail thing. It's an assessing what's the starting line. Each of us have different starting lines,
That's
right? In this whole journey of finance and preparing for retirement, we must first assess where are we beginning from, like I mentioned a moment ago. And that's all this does. It's not pass or fail. There's no shame. There's no fear in it. We want to lift all of that from you and actually help you experience financial freedom. That's what this is all about. This is about taking that burden off your shoulders and setting you up in a place where you can live the life that you want to live, to live free of the worry about running out of money, to live free of the worry about how is this going to be passed on when that time comes, to live free of the worry, what am I going to do if my spouse does predecease me? You don't have to worry about all of that. You can prepare, pre-plan for those things and have things in line to bring that ease and peace of mind.
Peace of mind is what we're all looking for. And the idea that our money is going to last until our last breath. And putting the plan together starts now. So call the number on your screen. Scan the QR code. Let's put together a financial plan that works just for you. It's your time. Let's make it work. Jay and Brittany do this every day. We talk about the perspective. Their team is doing it every day. Let's do it just for you. Thanks for your time that you spend with us watching the program. Can't wait to see you in the office. And right back here next time on the Allon Exchange.